She's famous for her smile and her sunny charm, but this morning she's at an inpatient clinic being treated for anxiety and depression. So what led to her breakdown, and why have so many other celebrities had their own depression battles?
I am happy for you.
She starred on Spin City.
Got that? I'm happy.
Smoldered on Dynasty.
Would you please try to act like a lady?
And was the boss everyone loved to hate on Melrose Place.
You're kind of arrogant, even for a surgeon.
The beautiful 46-year-old actress seemed always to be smiling. She had just finished shooting a Lifetime movie aptly titled Flirting with 40 and had a new man in her life, former Melrose Place co-star Jack Wagner. But those close to Locklear say the past couple of years have been at times brutal for her. The actress began taking prescription drugs for anxiety and depression shortly after she filed for divorce from her husband of 12 years, Richie Sambora. And then pictures revealed that her soon-to-be ex-husband had taken up with her close friend, Denise Richards.
Was very tough on Heather.
This past March, a man claiming to be Locklear's doctor called 911 worrying she was suicidal.
I have a patient, or I have a feeling she's suicidal, and I would want someone to go there.
Sources very close to Heather tell us that this was a misunderstanding. She was having a really bad day, and her well-meaning friend couldn't get a hold of her on the phone.
Still, sources say she was experiencing anxiety, depression, and medications didn't seem to work. She and her doctor decided inpatient treatment might be best. She's not the first celebrity to battle depression. Earlier this year, Cher talked with Cynthia McFadden.
But I thought, I could make something out of my life if I never had depression.
People who've never suffered from it, I think, don't understand it's not the same thing as not being happy.
It's something that you just can't explain.
For Heather Locklear, the decision to enter treatment was deeply personal, to get healthy for herself and her daughter Ava, and one that's supported by her friends, her ex-husband Richie, and her new love Jack.
While she's in treatment, he supports her completely, 110%.
And for more on Heather Locklear's fight to get healthy now, we're joined by Dr. Catherine Berndorf, one of the nation's leading psychiatrists on women's mental health, and J.D. Heyman, assistant managing editor at People magazine, which has a cover story on Heather Locklear's ordeal on newsstands right now. Good morning to both of you.
Good morning.
Thanks for being here. J.D., let me start with you. You guys are breaking the story on the cover this week. Tell me more about what we know about right now. How is she doing in treatment? We think she's doing better?
We think she's doing well. She's getting the help that she needs. This has been a long process for her. She's been figuring out what she needs to do. She's obviously struggled with this problem for a long time, and she's gotten good medical help and good advice, and she's taking care of her issues.
It's so surprising, I think, to people, because, you see especially someone so beautiful, so gorgeous, who seems to have it all, who's got rock star husbands and all of that.
Totally. I mean, she is the personification of the all-American, California, sunny, cheerful kind of role model for millions of people. But of course, that's the thing about depression and anxiety. It affects everybody, and it certainly affected Heather Locklear, and she's being very proactive about taking care of a problem that affects a lot of people, which is an incredibly difficult and brave thing to do given her position.
And she's been struggling with this, you say, for years.
Yes, it's been a couple of years where she has really taken some knocks. She's had some good times during those years, but she's really had a hard time finding an even keel, finding, her center again. She really wasn't the person that she always felt that she was, that her friends recognized. And after a long time of trying to explore how to get help, she finally came to this decision, which was to be in a residential treatment facility.
Dr. Berndorf, he brings up the friends. So if you're a friend of anyone out there, and I mean, this is the question we always get, what's the difference between a little bit of sadness and depression?
It's a great question. Everybody has sadness, hopefully has a normal range of emotion. But when sadness goes on and gets deeper and more desperate and longer, you think there's probably more going on.
Are there telltale things you can watch for? I mean, are there
Absolutely.
other signs?
Sometimes you'll see a decrease in energy. You'll see changes in sleep habits. Appetite can change. People can gain weight, lose weight. Concentration can get lower. And in some cases, they feel very worthless, hopeless, and in the worst cases, feel like they don't want to live.
Yeah, and the best thing to do in any of the, if you see any of that in a friend, is get help.
Get help.
What do you think about the fact that she's allowing her publicist to put this out there and be on the cover of People magazine?
It's incredibly brave, and I really applaud the proactivity and also the message to everyone. Depression is a common medical illness. Happens 15 to 20% of women in their lifetime will have a depression. and it's a recurrent illness, runs in families. It's nothing to be ashamed of.
Yeah.
Really is a common problem.
JD, we've heard so much about celebrities going into rehab and going in for treatment of substance abuse. Do we think this has anything to do with, we mentioned a little bit of alcohol use?
Well, you know, Heather Locklear is a person who likes to have a good time. She's, you know, she's a woman who lives a normal life and, you know, and enjoys herself. She is not in treatment because of those issues. Her issues relate to her anxiety and depression, which are real problems. And I think obviously, when you're in the public eye, whenever you take a step like this, people tend to speculate about why you would do that. But the reality is, these are issues of long standing that she's needed to deal with, and she has tried many different avenues to treat them. And this is the avenue that her doctor and she have decided is best.
And fully treatable, right?
Absolutely. As long as you can diagnose it, you can get treatment and feel much better.
Okay, thank you to you both for being here. And if you want more information about depression, you can head over to abcnews.com. We have a special section all about it.
In a flash, be the first to know what's coming up on Good Morning America tomorrow with the GMA Daily Flash email. All the great insider details you want to know from GMA. Go to abcnews.com, click the GMA page, and sign up for the Daily Flash. And you can even enter to win the weekly GMA Flash gift bag giveaway. Sign up now.